So the iPhone 6 is finally here. It's the phone that a lot of people have been waiting for, and we've got all the details for you to find out more about the handset. We'll kick off with the design of the iPhone 6. It's got a new super slim body of just 6.9mm, making it really easy to slide in and out of your pocket. The full metal body is still there from the iPhone 5S, but it's been rounded off, so it's much more comfortable in the hand. The premium metal oozes quality and class as always, as you would expect from an Apple device, and it comes in 3 colours: space grey, gold and white. Moving on to the display of the iPhone 6, and it's one of the biggest new features on the handset. It measures 4.7 inches in size, which is a considerable boost over the 4-inch iPhone 5S. It's got a resolution of 1334 by 750. We were maybe hoping for a full HD display, but nevertheless, Apple has decided to stick with that, and it gives you a pixel density of 326 ppi. That's exactly the same as the iPhone 5S, so clarity remains the same even though size has increased here. The technology behind this is an LED backlit display with IPS technology, and there's also new dual domain pixels, which for us means you can see it from a wider angle, allowing several of your mates to crowd around the phone and really check out the action on screen. The operating system on the iPhone 6 is no surprise. It's running iOS 8. That's Apple's latest iteration of the platform. It comes with a few tweaks and performance upgrades here and there, but for the most part it looks very similar to iOS 7, so anyone upgrading from a 4S or a 5 or a 5C will feel very much at home. There are a few new apps there. Health is one of them, allowing you to track your running and your fitness and even your diet. And Passbook has added some new functionality. You can store credit cards in there, which will link into Apple's new payment system quite nicely. Moving on to power, and the iPhone 6 sports a 64-bit A8 processor. It's only dual-core, which may seem a little underpowered compared to the quad-core and octa-core processors we're seeing in other high-end flagship phones. But actually, Apple does a really good job of tightly integrating its OS with the power, and you'll find that the iPhone 6 actually still runs very well. There's also 1GB of RAM on board, and there's also Apple's M8 Motion co-processor, which allows to track your various movements and gives you that fitness data. Now, the camera on any iPhone is always interesting to look at. Apple has stuck with the 8-megapixel sensor on the iPhone 6, but it's done various behind-the-scenes tweaks to improve it over the iPhone 5S. Apple has included something called focus pixel technology on the iSight camera on the iPhone 6, and that comes along with autofocus, allowing for a really bright, crisp image. You can also record video with the iPhone 6 Full HD at either 30 or 60 frames per second, and slow motion video at 120 or the new 240 frames per second. Now that really is slow motion. Moving around to the front, and Apple has stuck with the FaceTime HD camera, allowing you to video chat with friends and family. It also features Auto HDR for both photographs and video, ensuring that your face is looking absolutely perfect whenever you're chatting. There's a variety of other features and functionality available on the iPhone 6, some of which include Apple's excellent Touch ID fingerprint recognition, which allows you to unlock the phone and pay for purchases in the App Store and iTunes. And Apple's also opened out the API to developers, so you'll be able to see some apps taking advantage of the Touch ID functionality in the coming months and years. What you also get is a bigger battery, thanks to the bigger body of the iPhone 6, and it looks like the battery life will be a considerable improvement over the iPhone 5S. A barometer is also on board to give you various readouts of your surroundings. And finally, NFC has been included in an iPhone for the first time. This will allow you to make contactless payments at shops and on public transport, and should allow Apple and Apple developers a lot more freedom when it comes to developing new applications. So, how much is the iPhone 6 going to set you back? Well, the entry-level 16GB model SIM-free costs £539. If you fancy moving up to the next level, you'll get 64GB of internal storage, which is pretty generous, but there is a price tag of £619 attached to that. Finally, right at the top, Apple has introduced a new storage tier in 128GB. Now, that's a lot of storage, but it's also a lot of money, £699 SIM-free if you're interested. In terms of when you can actually get your hands on the iPhone 6, it goes on sale on Friday the 19th of September in 10 countries, including the UK, US and Australia. It will move to a further 20 countries on September the 26th, but Apple is already warning of potential stock shortages. With a massive pre-orders already behind it, Apple is saying that the supply is just not meeting demand, and some pre-order customers may have to wait until October to receive their handsets, which means they may be hard to come by in stores. So there you have it, everything you need to know about the new iPhone 6. For more news, reviews and rumours, make sure you subscribe to techradar.com.